My next guest is going to be making his PFL debut coming up here on May 23rd. It is Damon Jackson back here on the program. Damon, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing
Yeah.
awesome, man, but not as good as you though. I'm not having an opportunity here to win $1 million like you are. Congratulations right off the bat. This is a huge deal, especially with the fact that PFL now has that deal with ESPN. How did this all come together?
Actually, that this is something I knew about like in September. I wanted to do it last year, but it was too late. Once I found out about the tournament, it was too late. So this year, I was like, this whole 2018, I was trying to, figure out a way to get in. So I made a few calls and got around, and my coach got on the phone and found out about it in September. But it was, it's a long wait from my last fight was in August. So waiting from August until now, it was really, really hard because I like to stay active. So yeah, it was tough.
No, I bet. Were there other offers in between then? I imagine people were reaching out to you just because you had that winning streak. You got the big win over Nate Jennerman in your last fight. Was there a lot of interest?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Like, there was no guarantee with the UFC, which is obviously what I was looking to go to. There was like they weren't saying like yes or no, and then it was just waiting on a short notice call, in which I was still until January. I was still kind of waiting on a short notice call just in case one came up. But I've had my eyes set on PFL since last year, and I really wanted to get in. And obviously, I didn't make a commitment until I signed a contract. But as soon as they started putting together the roster for this year, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make a commitment and go to them. I'm not gonna wait for the UFC anymore, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sign. And so I signed, back in January. But I just had to, kind of lay low for a while until it came out. But I found out about the ESPN deal right after I signed, so I was, obviously very happy with that. And it's just good to see that there's other competition out there except for the UFC. It's good for the fighters just to know that there's other options. And obviously the $1 million is huge, but like going into all my fights, I just like to win. I like to compete and I like to win. Obviously that $1 million is huge, so getting that would be awesome.
Have you noticed the sponsors have been better just in terms of the fact you're on ESPN? You have a bit of leverage there saying like, look, I'm going to be on this huge platform. You guys should sponsor me.
Yeah, no, and it's really cool because I found a new sponsor in Dallas that I never would have had. Pearl Energy, it's huge. It's a big deal. And then I have one more sponsor from back home. They've been sponsoring me since I started fighting. So I got to finally give those guys some attention on a huge platform like ESPN, like you're saying. That's huge. It doesn't happen all the time to get the fight on there. And now that the UFC, they came out and did the deal last year with ESPN, and then now this new organization that no one knows a whole lot about is going to be on there. I think it's just going to bring a lot of awareness to the fans, and like so, it'll bring people to see that there's other options, there's other organizations out there. Because I think that most people they're like, oh, you're a UFC fighter, and then that's all they can relate it to. So hopefully this ESPN deal will bring a lot of attention to PFL this year, and it should be good. But it's good for the fighters for sure.
What do you know about your opponent here, Movlid Khaibulaev? I believe that's how you say it. He's going to be making his North American debut, though, kind of a newcomer here. But we've seen, a lot of these, international fighters really have success in the PFL tournament. What do you know about your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the all overseas, like there's such a big market for it. But he seems like he's a solid wrestler. Has a really good right hand, and even the hook is pretty solid. His little right hand left hook combo he throws is pretty solid. So I think that he'll be looking to get the fight to the ground. But who knows, man? I think that everyone's gonna fight a little different with this $1 million on the line. So you can't really guarantee that this guy's going to come out with strong wrestling. He might come out and just try to knock my head off, or something. So I'm going to come out there and do my thing. I'm going to if I get his back, I'm going to take it, and I'm not going to pass up on that, taking the fight to the ground. But if I have to stand up a little bit because his wrestling's good, then I'll be all right. I've had some time off that I've been working on boxing for this past 3 years, and it's really paying off. And moving forward here, I'll be doing the same thing.
Who've been some of your main training partners for this camp?
And one of my main partners right now, he actually just got the call for the contender, is Miles Johns.
I saw
And
that. Great news for
yeah,
him. Finally getting some big opportunity like this.
yeah, we have our gym is like we had everyone kind of start at the same time, and everyone's kind of like, falling in place. All these guys that you haven't really heard of a lot, they're starting to get some spotlight, and it's huge. Miles Johns, his brother EJ, they're both great training partners. Steven Peterson, Abdul, he just fought in Brave, or he just fought for the title. He actually lost the fight, but the dude's a killer training partner. Awesome fighter all around. He had some injuries, so he'll be out for a little bit, but he's been helping me all the way up until this point. And we just got our team, Austin Lingo. We got all these killers that are. This year will be their year. It's a big year for our team. Our team, but this year is going to be another big year, man. But Miles Johns, Peterson, and EJ are my main training partners right now.
How about the weight cut? How's that going ahead of this season?
It's so cool because I know the day I'm gonna fight this fight. I know the day I'm gonna fight on my second fight, and obviously I have to win one of those two, and then I'll know my third fight also. So it makes it really easy to cut the weight and to prepare for the weight cut. Right now, I'm sitting pretty heavy, which is my game plan right now. Really, is to sit where I'm at and then cut the weight, just trimming it off. That it's going good.
And who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Miles Johns and Saif.
Oh, excellent. And how do you see this fight playing out? Finishes have been your thing, especially since you left the UFC. We've really been impressed by that. Are you going to keep that going here on May 23rd?
Yeah, obviously, like I was saying, if I get the fight to the ground, I'm gonna take his back for sure. I think my jiu-jitsu is better than his grappling. He does have some solid wrestling, but I'll get his back and be definitely looking for a finish.
Who's the most challenging opponent in the tournament aside from Damon Jackson?
Honestly, man, this is like no joke. The only people that I've really paid attention to is Lance Palmer and my opponent, and that's just like honestly, like I haven't even looked at the list. Like I saw the list at one point, and I kind of glanced at it, but I never looked into anyone's records. I never looked into anything like that. I know there was a Brazilian dude that was in there last year that he's coming back. That he looked really tough. He actually DQ'd himself on Steven Siler. He threw like an up kick or something. I can't remember his name, but he looked like honestly like I thought he was gonna win it, and he ended up DQing himself. So I think that whatever his name is, that dude will be tough, and obviously Palmer, the champ, he's gonna be tough too. But I'm moving forward right here with this fight, and then that's what the beauty about this thing is, like like you're gonna win this fight, or like you win or lose this fight, and then you'll know who your next opponent is within a couple of days, and then the day you're gonna fight. So it definitely helps me relax in between fights.
So if you go undefeated in this regular season in the playoffs and you make it to December 31st and you win the $1 million, what would you do with the money? I'm sure that's crossed your mind.
Yeah, obviously that's huge. That's a big part of it. But it's just for me, like every time I have a fight, I love it so much because what it brings to my family, like the finances. Like because I work full time, I do everything on my own. I still do renovations on the trailers. That's huge. But if I won the $1 million, I would put it aside and and just move forward with what I'm doing my day to day right now. I wouldn't spend any of it for a few years or so, but I would just kind of put it aside because I enjoy doing what I'm doing. Like I either work all the time, but I enjoy it, so I would just put it off to the side.
I was going to ask you about that. What's been the coolest thing you've got to renovate recently as far as like an RV or a trailer? Like anything like stand out that was a little bit different maybe?
Yeah, this one I'm doing right now is so freaking cool. And actually, PFL came out and they did like a whole day out there. It was so cool. But I'm doing it's a 1994 Lake Liberty Prevost bus, and it's a 45-foot bus, so it's like gigantic bus, and it's like like a rock star bus kind of thing. Like it's total badass. And I'm renovating that. I mean, I stripped it down. It was like really nice condition when I got it, and we stripped it down, and now we're going through and putting everything in, and it looks awesome. It's such a cool project to be a part of. And so like after this one, I don't know if I'll get another big bus like that right off the bat, but I have two more small campers that are coming up in between the next fight. So.
Excellent. Well, in the meantime, we're going to be looking forward to you in this upcoming season. Damon, congratulations again. We'll be watching. It's coming up here May 23rd. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Damon Leach on all my social media, and just the sponsors, man. I think it's such a cool thing that they're bringing the spotlight to. We only get two sponsors on, for the fight, but on, for PFL, you're getting to wear two sponsor logos, but it's Pearl Energy and W Brown Enterprise. Without those guys, and there's others out there, but those are the two big sponsors that are getting the spotlight May 23rd. And it's just huge, man. And I actually got this really cool. This just bringing awareness that if you want to quit tobacco, this is huge, man. This company just sent me a few of these, and you guys go try it out, man. It's only like $30 for a 6-pack of it, and it's cool. But yeah, man, I appreciate all the support. You guys go follow me on Damon Leach on all social media, and thank you for the interview, man. I appreciate it.